Hi, I'm Dr. Jared Gardner, and I've got a kind of fun case to share with you today. This was a abdominal nodule, if I recall, a skin lesion, and they thought it was going to just be a ruptured cyst. And at first glance, that's exactly what it looks like. There's a keratin-filled cyst here, that what we would call an epidermoid cyst, or a cystically dilated hair follicle. Those two things can have a lot of overlap. But when the dermatologist did the excision and cut into it, they found something. Aside from just the cyst contents, they found a large, dark hair. So this is basically like an ingrown hair, a hair that got kind of trapped into a cystic hair follicle, and then the follicle ruptured, and the hair fragments spilled out into the dermis and caused this huge granulomatous reaction. So we see hair shafts sometimes with ruptured cysts, but this one, actually the hair was visible grossly to the naked eye when the dermatologist began to cut out the lesion. And so you can see fragments here of this hair that are still embedded in the dermis. This dark shaft right here is a hair shaft, and the dark coloration is partly from air refraction artifact, but also because there's melanin pigment in the hair. That's what makes the hair dark in color. And then around it, you can see there's all of these multiple nucleated or multinucleated foreign body giant cells. So the body makes keratin, the skin makes keratin. That's what hair shafts are made of. But keratin's supposed to be either in the center of a hair follicle or out on the surface of the skin. It's not supposed to be in the dermis. The body does not like keratin once it's in the dermis. So if it spills into the dermis, it tends to make a lot of inflammatory reaction. And these are all histiocytes here, making a granuloma, and multinucleated giant cells, which are trying to wrap around this hair, which, even though it's produced by the human body, the dermis and the immune system basically consider it to be kind of a foreign substance. And so you get a foreign body reaction. So all of these are fragments of the hair. And then there's some scar here, some histiocytes, some lymphocytes, and there's a normal hair follicle right here. That was just in the skin next door. So I don't have a picture or video of the actual hair being extracted out, but this is what an ingrown hair that has ruptured and caused inflammation, that's what it looks like under the microscope. So this is ingrown hair under the microscope. A ruptured hair follicle, a normal hair follicle could look kind of like this: ruptured folliculitis, ruptured cyst of any sort. Like I said, sometimes they have hair shafts with them. Pilonidal cyst or pilonidal sinus, which is a kind of chronic cystic process that gets inflamed and drains sometimes in the superior gluteal cleft. It can look just like this microscopically. So we can have a variety of different clinical settings where we get a similar microscopic range of features. So here's the cystic hair follicle that's been dilated by keratin, and we have some bit of the follicle epithelium left here. And then in the dermis next to it, we can see a little tiny micro abscess, a little collection of neutrophils. Those are neutrophils right there. There's some little flakes of keratin debris here, typical to what we see when we get ruptured cysts that get inflamed. But again, in this case, it was clinically a ruptured ingrown hair from a ruptured hair follicle. So I thought that was kind of fun, since the hair was visible both microscopically, and the dermatologist told me that they saw a large hair clinically when they began to surgically remove this. And here's a second piece from the same biopsy. You can't see the cystic hair follicle epithelium anymore, but you can still see multiple cross sections of the hair. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. It's simple, nothing rare or special, but sometimes the simple things can be interesting as well. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.